The Indiana Fever playing some of the best basketball in the WNBA post-Olympic break. And that opportunity, Caitlin Clark for three, rattles it around and off and running. Caitlin Clark wins the pass, thread the needle. My goodness, what a play! The Fever put up 100 and take the series from Chicago 3-1.
The WNBA is facing a $50 million loss, and now one of its rising stars is under fire for stat padding. Angel Reese's recent game against the Indiana Fever has sparked a debate that could change how we view player performance. Here's what you need to know about the controversy shaking up the league. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You may believe that gaining points is always beneficial, but it's creating a great deal of strain in Reese's case. How much do those extra baskets really cost? Let's dissect it. Patrick Bet-David isn't holding back when it comes to Reese's manner of play. He's not the only one who worries about the integrity of the game. Everyone's main concern is whether Reese's pursuit of fame is benefiting or harming her team. The fact is, Reese's double-doubles appear impressive when read aloud. There is more to the narrative, though, if you examine more closely. Her emphasis on individual statistics, according to her detractors, is actually hurting the Chicago Sky's performance.
Offensive possessions, 2 buckets for the Fever. Caitlin Clark for three, rattles it. Kenley working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot. Logo make for Clark. A 6 for the Fever. The Sky shooting 38%. Caitlin Clark, another three-pointer.
These days, team dynamics and morale are just as important as stats. If getting blown out doesn't push you to improve, maybe it's time to take a hard look at ourselves, remarked Rachel Benham, putting it best: hurt. If there's ever a wake-up call, it is it. Reese is no longer the only issue. The team's mindset toward defeat is at issue. But there's still more. The discussion isn't limited to the court. Big figures are weighing in as it spreads to the realm of sports commentary. Reese is in the middle of everything that's going on in the WNBA. Perhaps you're thinking, what's the big deal? Surely points are points. False. In basketball, performance is equally as important as results. It's about playing the game the right way, having team spirit, and being a good sportsman. Furthermore, some people claim that Reese's stat padding goes too far. For a moment, let's discuss about the Chicago Sky. To put it mildly, they're having difficulties. Some are blaming Reese's style of play for some of the issues. Is she more concerned with improving her own stats than with changing the team's performance? The question that matters greatly is that. This is where things become really fascinating, though. The way Reese conducts herself has an impact beyond how well her team plays on the court. They also have an effect on the Sky's reputation off the court. Spectators include sponsors, players, and fans. What do they observe too? It's not only good news. Consider it. It is a team sport, basketball. It conveys a message when a player appears more focused on their individual numbers than the success of the team. That message too. It's not one that draws elite talent or creates a winning culture. Patrick Bet-David's critique extends beyond Reese alone. He is discussing the overall integrity of basketball. In predetermined games, participants who concentrate on inflating their stats distort the essence of the sport. Nowadays, it's all about getting individual recognition at any cost rather than just winning. This is a frightening thought. What if Reese's method is adopted as the standard? Then what happens to basketball on a team? There's a risk involved, which is why so many individuals are raising their concerns. Recall that perception equals reality in professional sports. Long-term effects may result if fans begin to perceive the WNBA as a league where individual statistics are more important than team performance. We are discussing the legitimacy of the league, the involvement of its fans, and even its financial health. A new player in the league is making waves for all the right reasons, while other players pursue fame for themselves. What if the answer to the WNBA's issues was right there in front of us? Beyond just having outstanding numbers, Caitlin Clark's first season is a tutorial in how to improve a whole sport. For a moment, let's speak about Caitlin Clark. This rookie is changing the definition of what it takes to be a WNBA star in addition to being a skilled basketball player. Her most recent appearance? Really good, 31 points and 12 assists. The shocking thing is that it goes beyond the figures. It's refreshing to see Clark approach the game in this way. She's all about teamwork, whereas others could be more concerned with inflating their stats. For the Indiana Fever, her leadership on the floor has changed everything. For the first time since 2016, they're back in the playoffs, and Clark has a big part to play in that success. But hold on, things get better still. Clark is winning fans over in addition to games. The masses she's attracting, they are enormous. An average of 15,300 people per night are expected to attend her performance. That exceeds the 10,100 that Angel Reese's games are bringing in by a significant margin. A sign of success is when people begin to compare you to pop icons. Clark has been compared to Taylor Swift in the world of women's athletics. They're also not in error. Everyone around her is so enthusiastic. We do not mess with Caitlin Clark because the Swifties will come for you. One commenter went so far as to say that right there is some major star power. However, Clark's influence goes well beyond merely packing theaters. She is completely altering the WNBA's atmosphere. Recall all of the turmoil we already discussed. Clark's achievement cuts through the cacophony of noise like a breath of fresh air. Consider it, the entire storyline shifts when you have a player who is not only extraordinarily gifted, but also modest and focused on the team. In addition to playing for herself, Clark also plays for her team, the supporters, and the future of women's basketball. And to be honest, the WNBA really needed this. With all the talk of stat padding and problems with team dynamics, Clark's strategy serves as a reminder of the true purpose of basketball. It's about uniting as a team and entertaining the people with a fantastic display, not just about individual awards. Clark's performance may also have a significant financial impact on the WNBA. Increased attendance from fans results in higher ticket sales, goods that is quickly off the shelf, and sponsorship interest. There could be a cascading effect that stabilizes the league's financial situation. The truly great news is that Clark is just getting started. Folks, this is her rookie season. Think of what she could do if she had a few more years of experience. It's possible that we're witnessing the emergence of a legend who has the power to elevate women's basketball as a whole. Furthermore, it goes beyond Clark as a single person. Her success is demonstrating an important fact. When women's basketball is played properly, there is a big desire for it. She is demonstrating that drawing attention can happen without controversy or stat padding. A sincere passion for the game, talent, and teamwork are all that are required. Clark's story of achievement is but one aspect of the whole. Conversely, there is a struggling squad that has the WNBA hierarchy scratching their heads. How can a top player's obsession with his or her own numbers drag down a whole team? The response may permanently alter your perception of women's basketball. The league is taking notice of the Chicago Sky's recent performance. They are losing more than just games, they are also losing their sense of unity. And in the heart of this tempest, Angel Reese's debate regarding stat padding. Nowadays, it's not just about the numbers, it's about how the acts of one person may have an impact on the entire business. The key to any successful sports franchise is its team cohesiveness, but when individuals put their own fame ahead of group accomplishments, the dynamic becomes poisonous. The difficulties facing the Sky are evident beyond the scoreboard. Every forced shot, every missed pass, every sideline glare, you can feel the stress. If getting blown out doesn't push you to improve, maybe it's time to take a hard look at ourselves, stated Rachel Benham, and she nailed the nail on the head. That serves as more than simply a reminder for Reese. The whole WNBA is alerted by this warning signal. Consider it. It is a team sport, basketball. It conveys a message when a player appears more concerned with boosting their own stats than that of their teammates. That message too, it's not one that produces winners or fills positions. However, this goes beyond the Chicago Sky. The WNBA as a whole is feeling the effects of this dispute. League officials are keeping a tight eye on things and are not pleased with what they see. Why? Because the league as a whole is shaped by the activities of its individual players, not just their teams. This is when the exciting part starts. There are significant financial challenges facing the WNBA. We are discussing an alleged $50 million loss. That's not a change of pocket. In these times, every game counts. Every fan is important. Additionally, each headline counts. Fans' perceptions of the sport are altered when they witness athletes who appear more focused on their own metrics than the accomplishments of their team. These days, it's more than just wins and losses. It concerns the game's inherent integrity. Patrick Bet-David is not holding back when it comes to this matter. He is concerned that the game of basketball may change fundamentally if stat padding spreads like wildfire. Furthermore, he is not by himself. Viewers, sponsors, and other participants are all keeping an eye on this. But hold on, there's more to this tale. There is more to the Reese-Clark story than basketball. It touches on more general racial and feminist issues. Social difficulties are like a powder keg that is waiting for a spark, and that's adding to the anxiety of league officials. The WNBA cannot afford to lose sponsors or supporters at this time. They require uplifting tales, exemplary individuals, and a focus on the group. Less controversy and more Caitlin Clarks are what we need, because it all adds up. Every bad headline, every irate fan, every dubious play. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe on your mind? Alright, let's make the connection. There are fewer fans in the stands when the team performs poorly. Revenue decreases with fewer fans. It's more difficult to draw in top talent and retain current stars when there is less revenue. The league itself, as well as the team's continued existence, may be in jeopardy due to this declining trend. This is about more than simply the drama of a game night. It's about women's basketball's future. The WNBA faces a decision. If they hope to develop the sport and ensure its financial stability, they must confront these problems head on. What then is the remedy? Leadership is the first step in this. The tone must be set by the team's owners, coaches, and seasoned players. They must emphasize that the success of the team comes first, always, not an exemption in it. Still, the league isn't the only authority. There is a role for fans as well. It matters what we celebrate and what we rejoice for. Do we really want a league where each superstar fudges their numbers? Alternatively, do we prefer team basketball at its best, where each member helps those around them?